Do you sometimes feel like you speak in a robotic way? You feel like you're not speaking naturally. You don't feel comfortable when you're speaking in English, and sometimes you just feel like you get lost for words. It's super common, and in this class I'm going to give you 3 different ways of how you can overcome this finally and start feeling like a confident speaker. As an English teacher, one of the things that I love seeing in my students is when they don't just start using new vocabulary, new phrasal verbs, new expressions, but they start actually using the flexibility of the language by changing their speed, changing their tone, and connecting their personality to the language. These things are really, really key. It happens with time, it happens with targeted practice. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways that I think is super, super useful to help you to start sounding more natural when you speak in English, and how you can finally just relax as a speaker and just feel like you can connect, feel like you can flow. And this is when you're going to really feel like you've made that jump, that level up in your English language, and you're going to really start feeling more confident, whether you are in the workplace, whether you are in a social setting, whether you're hanging out with your friends, or simply you are just trying to order a coffee in the coffee shop. So all of these things, they really will affect you. But these 3 tips that I have for you today, I think are going to be super, super useful. So the first one is to start using softening language. The technical term for this is called hedging, okay? So what I mean by this is when you just say something in a very direct, with a flat tone, it can just come across a little bit robotic. It can come across just a little bit flat. There are times when this type of phrase is super useful, such as, "You're wrong." Okay, like quite direct, quite intimidating for someone to call you out and say you are wrong. But another way of how we can hedge, how we can soften this language is, "Oh, I can see your point, but have you considered?" Okay, so this is really nice because you're actually starting with the agreement. You're starting with kind of, building that bridge, finding that middle ground, but then you're connecting it to something to then bring it into another part of the conversation, which is another idea that you've had, or something that you feel will be useful for your colleague or for your client, or for one of your co-workers when you're speaking with them, or even one of your friends if you're just trying to give them another bit of a different opinion. So another one that we can use, instead of "do this now," or "let's do this," you can say something like, "When you have a moment, why don't we take a look at this?" Okay, so this is softening language. So what part of that sentence is hedging, is softening it? It's that element of saying, "Why don't we take a look at this?" So the why is kind of like you are opening up the sentence to actually emphasize that it's a possibility, it's an option.